What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your favourite football fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. This is your news show. And on today's show, we're going to be discussing the 65th anniversary of the Munich disaster. We'll say our piece on that and reflect back on the tragedy and the memorial service today. Manchester City could be demoted to the Championship and stripped to their Premier League titles. But that's an opinion, of course, if all the sanctions go through, or over 50% of the sanctions go through. So that's a very, very interesting topic that we're going to touch on. And what players are on their way out of Manchester United. According to Samuel Luckhurst, some big players United are looking to sell in the summer, and which ones can we get money for. So very, very interesting. But before I dive that, we've got Sam on the show. How you doing, Sam?
Yeah, good. Bit stressed. Behind the scenes, me and Nick, we trying to sort out Lee's tickets, and it's been a bit of a stress. Bit of a pain in the ass. But we roll, and we'll be all right. We'll be there on Wednesday, so it's all good.
Yeah. So if Man United ticket system you're watching, sort your shit out, because the way you transfer tickets is terrible. Shite. Right then, we'll start off with the 65th anniversary. Sam, obviously, important day, United fans' hearts. 65 years ago on this day, Manchester United players set off from Belgrade after a European clash. Finished 3-3, I think it was, in the semi-final, and they was ready to set up back off to England. The plane, they tried to take off 3 times, I think it was, and the 2 times coming back. And then on the 3rd time, disaster followed. There was a bit of slush, I believe, on the runway. The aircraft never really elevated, went straight into the marshy ground, overturned, and crashed, leaving 8 teammates dead, including other journalists and staff members and people like that. So a couple of names I want to throw out there: Roger Byrne, Tommy Taylor, Jeff Bent, Mark Jones, Eddie Coleman, David Pegg, Duncan Edwards, and Liam Whelan were the players involved in the crash. Now, obviously, a very, very sad time for the club. But yeah, Sam, just to reflect on that, what it means to you. You know, it's obviously a huge historical event, and it goes back so many years. It's hard for us to not resonate with it, because it's obviously very, very sad, but with it being in 1958, that was way before we was born, but we still appreciate what they've done, right, for what they've done for the club.
Yeah, it's obviously the first bit you sort of thing is the players that you lost, the staff, the people who were on that plane that died that day. That's the first thing you remember. But it's also a sort of symbol of Manchester United and the strength of this club, that how we've been able to rebuild from that moment. Because most clubs, like, if you have something like that happen to you, a lot of clubs don't ever recover from that, don't ever come back. And to be as successful as we have been since then is like a testament to the players that were lost and the staff that were lost. It's a testament to their memory, that they carried on and they played and they won titles in spite of the tragedy. But I know a lot of the players were highly rated, the ones who perished. I know Duncan Edwards in particular was really highly rated. He was supposedly the next great thing, and tragically cut short. Was he 21, I think, when he died?
Yeah, very young. Yeah.
So, which is a shame. God knows what he could have gone on to be for United, United legend, etc. And was it Harry Gregory who pulled a lot of people out of the wreckage?
Yeah, the captain, Harry Gregg.
He went into the wreckage, and when it fell and pulled a lot of people clear, saved a lot of people's lives. So he needs to be recognised for the bravery he showed that day in saving people's lives. And it's always going to be a point you remember. I'm so glad that United every year honours these people and keeps the memorial. Everybody observes the silence impeccably, and everybody turns up. I know you went to the ceremony today. I was working, so couldn't make it, but I have been to previous ones, and it's always a very somber reflection. I know Eric Ten Hag, Harry Maguire, etc. all went and laid wreaths and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a point to remember in Manchester United's history. Not a great one, but an important one nonetheless, and one we should all keep with us and remember at this time, and also remember where we've been and how far we've come, because it's in their memory that the club succeeds. So.
Of course, yeah. And the legacy after that is, in typical United style, so Matt Busby overcoming the crash injuries to then work alongside his assistant Jimmy Murphy and build another great team, which won the European Cup 10 years later on. So coming back from the depths, like Manchester United do, like we're currently doing in a minute, obviously in a completely different circumstance, but you've always got that winning mentality, and to come back and to fight. That's our core standards as a club. And yeah, like you touched on, I was at the service today. Really, really nice service. Some really nice poems and stuff. Like really emotional poems and great words spoken. And one of the guys, I really wish I could remember his name. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was speaking about how it actually started. Like there was only, 4 or 5 people who would turn up in the first couple of years when they was, starting this service and stuff. And then I think today there was over 5,000 or something along the lines of that. So it's just, showing great support for the club, paying homage to your heritage, excuse me. And it was nice to see Harry Maguire there. To see that I think the women's captain was there as well. You had Eric Ten Hag. You had a lot of people showing respect. And Ten Hag actually spoken on it. He said, I think it's really important to remember the Munich air disaster because it tells a legacy for Manchester United. It tells something about, of course, the remembrance of people who fell away, who died way too early. So, yeah, really nice service. The people who read out the poems, it was great. And, yeah, for me, it was the first because, like you said, it's on weekdays, so a lot of people can't go to it because of work, etc. But with circumstances this year, I was managed to go, and I wasn't saying I didn't enjoy it obviously, but it was just nice to witness it.
It was one of the first things Ten Hag did when he arrived. I remember he was walking around the stadium and he spent about 5-10 minutes at the Munich Memorial, which is like outside the stadium. He spent about 5-10 minutes just reflecting on it and sort of looking at it. I know Harry, when we played, I think did we play Bayern Munich a couple of years ago?
In the Champions League, going about?
I think so, because I remember Harry Maguire went to the crash site, and there's a memorial in Munich as well. He went there and sort of visited the thing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good that the modern players are aware of what is going on and the history and all of that. And I hope that I think it should be a thing. Like if you come to Manchester United, you're told about this history and you're informed about it and you understand what it means and how people feel about it. And I'm sure when we go to Leeds on Wednesday, there'll be a little bit of a thing and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it'll be a somber moment, but again, an important moment that we all need to sort of remember Manchester United's history. And yeah, like you said, we went on to succeed. Bobby Charlton, etc. Matt Busby built a dynasty, built a legacy. And then Sir Alex continued that tradition on, and hopefully Eric Ten Hag builds a third one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, generations gone by, and it's crazy to think like that, innit? But yeah, as I said, it was nice for him to touch on the journalists as well and the staff who was involved in that, and a couple of fans he was talking about. So dedicated memories to everyone, and did a few minutes silence. Said like a prayer towards the end, and then it was done. So really, really nice. Was kind of proud to be there, and yeah, obviously we'll never forget the players that have died. Moving on to slightly different, like a completely different subject, and the other side of town, Sam. Manchester City.
News.
Yeah. Into more positive news, let's say, for example. Manchester City breaching financial rules. So Manchester City hit with more than 100 charges of breaching financial rules by the Premier League over a 9-year period. City could face points deduction or even relegation if they're found guilty of at least 50% of these charges. Under Premier League rules, the club will not be able to appeal any sanction to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which is, overturned by the UEFA ban, essentially, which is what they had last time, which is why they managed to get so they can't go through that process. And there's already mischievous chatter from some of the United figures involved in the 17-18 season when United finished second, following today's Manchester City news. So, yeah, Sam, Liverpool struggling. City hit with more than 100 charges while facing points deduction and Premier League expulsion. Ten Hag's quote, I think we remember that, don't we? All errors come to an end. What do we have here then?
I didn't expect him to come to an end so soon. It's 6-7 months into his reign, and he's collapsed them in 6 and 7 months. And they've both fucking collapsed, which is insane. Also, City lost to Spurs on yesterday, which was they had one fucking job to try and take some points off of Arsenal and make the title race interesting, but they couldn't fucking do that. Because Pep is, I don't know what's going on with Pep. But in terms of the financial fair play sort of regulations that they've broken, we all knew it was going on, didn't we? Like, we all knew what was happening. Yeah. They reported they had the higher income than Manchester United. for a few years now, which is impossible because you don't have the fan base. You're not the biggest club. Like I don't understand how they've come to that conclusion. So there knew there was some dodgy dealings going on. They built companies that are not real, that are owned by the people who own Manchester City to funnel the money into the club. So it's all a bit dodgy and backwards. And I'm sure they're not the only club doing it. I'm sure PSG are doing it. I bet Newcastle are bloody doing it. I'm sure there's other clubs. I know Juventus have been done for something along those lines and obviously been docked points. But don't worry, City fans. They're not going to take... UEFA has said they're not going to take away your Champions League titles. So every cloud.
They've
no. Every cloud.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's been a long time coming. Obviously, we saw that with UEFA, and they basically got off with a slap on the wrist, didn't they? With a fine, and went, oh, yeah, and then they got the fine halved anyway as well, which is baffling.
Yeah.
And I think the reason this has come about is because the Premier League had been threatened with an independent investigator being appointed by the government. I know there was a white paper due to go into Parliament at some point in the next couple of weeks about this, and I think their fear is if there is an independent regulator coming in, they will no longer be able to make the money that they currently make from the Premier League, it being the biggest league in the world, as we saw with the amount of spend that you had in January compared to every other league around Europe. And I think they were afraid, so they needed to basically find something to go, see, we're doing something. Because apparently this journalist, is it Martin, what's his name? Martin Ziegler?
Can't remember his
Martin
second
Ziegler,
name.
I think. He works for The Times, I believe. He said he's had this information for 4 years, but it's taken the Premier League 4 years to bring it to this point. So yeah, that's the information I know to this point. I don't know if you were going to add to that, to information.
Yeah, so well, not that specifically, but the response that City gave back into these, the word surprised is being used. So
Bollocks.
they said Manchester City FC is surprised by the issue of these alleged breaches of the Premier League rules, particularly given the extensive engagement and the vast amount of detailed materials that the EPL have been provided with. So they're very surprised to hear this news. I'm sure it was a shock to the system. Yeah. And like we said, more than 100 charges. If 50% get found guilty, then they should, could be demoted or have points deducted. No smoke without fire. We heard about all this last time. Somehow they managed to pay the way out of it. But if these sanctions come to life, Sam, this could be a serious threat to them, couldn't they? What happens with the players? I don't want to look too far down the road, but if this happened to our club and we heard about it, they'd be red alerts, wouldn't they? They'd be worrying signs.
Yeah. It's so what could possibly happen is, like, obviously we saw with Juventus, they got was it 12 points, 15 points docked?
15 points.
15 points docked. So they ended up 11th in the table or something like that, I think, in Serie A. So basically out of the Champions League. And we knew they had financial difficulties beforehand because they weren't able to buy players. There's a bunch of stuff, and like Weston McKennie's now gone to Leeds. And I know Vlahovic is a possible target for Man United because of this, etc. They've got like assets to sell. With City, it's a weird thing because there could be a number of implications. Like, it could just be a points deduction. So if they did get a 12 or 15 point deduction, it would still put them above Liverpool, by the way. It's just mental, by the way. No. Absolutely mental. I don't think they'll be relegated. I don't see that happening. Like, I think the Premier League don't have the balls to do that. I don't see it happening. Could they have titles taken off them? If so, that means we've got 3 extra titles. Just saying. Like, we've got 3 titles. Ollie's won a title.
Mick Fred have got winning medals.
Ollie's won a title. Mourinho's won a title. Van Gaal's won a title.
Fergie as well. Extra title as well.
Yeah, Fergie extra title. Phil Jones got 2 titles. I think who else has got it? Jesse Lingard's got a title. Martial's got 2 titles.
Yeah.
Bunch of players
crazy, innit?
Got Premier League medals.
Whether or not they're actually going to do that, I don't know. You feel like there's a lot of... It's a very hot topic at the minute. So my feelings towards it is that after it all cools down I think there's going to be a point where it gets announced that they're going to have points deducted or something. I don't think it's going to be. Maybe this is just, I'm wrong, and this is just purely my opinion and speculation. I think they'll probably get points deducted. They'll be charged a certain amount, and then I can't see them being demoted to championship.
No.
I don't think they'll do it, to be honest. I think they'll just do similar to what Juventus. I've actually pulled up Juventus's case here just to see like what it was specifically that they got done for. So Juventus faced legal and sporting allegations for financial irregularities and false accounting put in place to embellish their books. Heavily hit by the pandemic, being listed on the stock exchange, Juventus are obliged to show all their financial operations, something the investigating authorities claim they didn't do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dodgy things going on with Manchester City. Like we said, we knew this for a while. Do you think the manager knows about this?
Well, he said in an interview previously when the UEFA thing came out, he said, if they've lied to me, I'll walk, like I'll leave.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So if he's a man of his word and it's revealed that they have lied and get punished for it, does he then walk? Because that's what he said he'll do. And it's not like Premier League managers to lie, is it? They never lie about anything. So, or never go back on their word or do things they said they would never do. So it'd be interesting. And I just to pick up on your point, I don't think they get relegated. I don't think they have any titles stripped away from them. As funny as that would be fucking hilarious.
Well, if it got sorry to interrupt you, Sam. If it got stripped away, would that mean we then win it, or it's just stripped of them?
Yeah, because
is that legit? Like,
because that's what you remember when Juve got relegated. And they had
2005 won it 6,
and they had titles stripped away from them. So like, I think Inter Milan got a title, AC, somebody like different Italian teams got titles. So it could be to the point of like that. I don't think it will go that far, but if it does, here's a question for you. If it does, we get 3 league titles, but that means Liverpool get a couple.
Fuck it, I don't care. I'll take it. Listen, if Liverpool could have 1, if I take 3, 100%.
No, so yeah,
2. It was.
They get 2.
Oh yeah, it's fine. They can have 2. We've got 3. Yeah, we've still won more. That's fine. In July 2006, Juventus was stripped of the 2004-5 Serie A title, which was left unassigned and downgraded to the last place in 2005-2006 Serie A. The title was subsequently awarded to Inter Milan.
That's the one. Yeah.
Like you said, and then Juventus relegated to Serie B in July 2006, and this was very similar things. So you have to keep it, all things equal.
There is a possibility of it happening. How likely that is, I don't think it's very likely that they'll get relegated and title stripped. Again, would be funny as fuck for it to happen. I would laugh my ass off for weeks if it happened. Yeah. Because all these City fans that have come up the woodwork recently when they started winning shit, what are they going to do? Because they weren't supporting City back when they were in League 2 playing Gillingham and fucking going to Gillingham on like a Tuesday night, were they? They weren't doing that shit. So what did they do then? Did they go back to supporting Chelsea? Go back to supporting Arsenal? Come to United? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, well,
I'm sure the die-hard fans will tell you, I've been supporting City at Main Road and I've been watching it, but a lot of the fans, come on, 50-60% of them are all basically money fans. But it's really, really...
Sorry, I just what I think is going to happen personally. This, again, just my opinion. I think it's going to be a fine. They pay it off and then they'll say no more because there's too much money on the table for City not to be involved in this league and in a title race. So I think they get fined, probably a heavy fine, but it's not like they can't afford it, is it really? So it's I think that's what happens. Possibly the most likely scenario is that's what I think, and then possibly a point deduction. Zoe's Media House. Nick, mate, City are getting done for over 100 counts of breaches. This punishment, I think, is going to be massive, possible relegation to the Championship. So that's what Zoe thinks. And he also says it's 4 titles, 2 under Fergie and 2 after. 4 titles then. So we get 4.
Well, there's been different takes of this. So apparently it was a 9-year investigation, but I've also seen it's a 14-year investigation, but I've seen it's a 4-year investigation. Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Well, I think it's they've been accused of doing it over 14 seasons. That's the accusation. Okay. And then I think the actual investigation's been 9 years. But then journalists have had this info and the Premier League has had this information for 4 years. I think that is the terms of events. Because I've seen that Martin Ziegler was on TalkSport and then Kieran Maguire, who's been on Paddock and different places, he was on Sky Sports News. I think that's what they said. He's a financial football expert, so that's what they were talking about. But yeah, it's all really, really interesting, and I don't know if anything happens this season. I think it might take a while. It might take a while. So yeah, we could be little bits of information coming out over the next couple of months. But hey, it just gets better for United, doesn't it? Every week, exactly. just gets a little bit better.
Do you know what's absolutely hilarious? They call themselves the Centurions, and how many charges they've been charged with? 100.
There you go. Perfect.
The Centurions, you certainly are the Centurions. Over 100 charges breached in the financials. And you think about the moments as well, not just the trophies. That Aguero moment, we was laughing about it in the chat. Aguero. He got that goal, mate. How they're going to handle that? Will it be viewed the same way? You know, would it be an appropriate sanction? It's all going off for Manchester City at the minute, and it's all looking positive for United. So you can't really complain, to be honest. Penny for Arsenal fans' thoughts, because if they're looking at this, they're definitely going to want that points deduction this season, aren't they? They're going to be looking at that and go, take 10 points off them now, because they do that, Arsenal win the league straight away.
Also, if City get a points deduction this season, does that mean we're in a title race? Because we're third.
Well, we're 8 points. We're 8 points behind them currently, aren't we? So we would be the next in line. So technically, yeah.
That's what I mean. 10 Hags in a title race in his first season.
Well, it's weird with City because off the pitch, obviously things are clearly something's going on because they're investigating it. But even on the pitch, I don't know if these two things correlate because of that. But like, they're not looking like City at the minute.
No.
I don't know if it's something to do with the manager or like that Cancelo deal was just a massive shock, wasn't it? At the time when it happened, it was like, what's going on here?
He's making weird decisions, Pep, isn't he? He's making bizarre decisions. Like, he's not playing his best team week in, week out. Like, you think against Spurs, where he's not had a good time, like he's been beaten quite consistently at Spurs' stadium. So you'd think he'd play his strongest team. You've got Ruben Dias on the bench. You got Laporte, and he's playing Rico Lewis and Akanji and all that. And you're just like scratching your head about what's going on there. Kevin De Bruyne is on the bench. Don't know why.
Did you watch that game, by the way? Spurs?
Yeah, I watched it. You watched the highlights. I didn't watch the whole game.
The amount of times Haaland was running in behind and no one giving the ball. I'm talking like, do you remember times when we had McFred and Rashford would make runs and he'd be like, they're not playing it. That on crack times 10. He was like running. There was so many opportunities where he's like, play it. And there's just no one, just short pass, just would not feed him in behind. He could have had a hat-trick if he played in the right passes. And then that's why it was even more shock to the system. You mentioned a name like Kevin De Bruyne there on the bench.
Yeah.
It was like your best player, one of the best midfielders on the planet. Like, what? Something's going on at that club.
City have one method of playing, don't they? It's the Pep way, and that's it. Like, there's no plan B.
Yeah.
Like, there's no plan B. So if the Pep method, I don't understand why they would buy Haaland, because he doesn't fit into that Pep method. Like, he's not.
Which sounds mad saying, because he scored 25 goals, hasn't he? But he still doesn't fit.
Think of how many he could have had he fit the system. He probably could be on 30 by now, like 35. Yeah. Like, he's not the same. He's not an Aguero. Like, he's not that type of player. I know Aguero scored a shit ton of goals for City, but that's not who he is. He's a different type of player, and it's weird that they brought him in, and he's done phenomenally well. But I think if he was getting service consistently, he'd probably be on about 30 odd goals at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know what? I've always had a thing where if a player's played for City or gone to Manchester City, I hate him. But I'm telling you right now, if that sanction came in and they had to sell players and get rid of him, give me Haaland. Give me Erling Haaland right now. Put him in our team. You look at Sabitzer, Eriksson, Bruno Fernandes, their way of passing, the ball's in behind for Haaland. Oh my God. Yeah. Unbelievable. Like, I'd say that's winning Prems. I'm telling you now.
Solves our number 9 problem. He's young. 20 something, 22, 23. So solves our number 9 problem.
Yeah, take it all day. Absolutely. Yeah, Man City, good luck. Whatever the fuck's not good luck. I hope you get fucking demoted. I hope they take all your players off you and I hope you're in the shit pan again.
Fucking Tin Pot Club, mate. Like, fucking biggest club in Manchester. Like, give me a fucking break.
I saw someone comment on my thing when I did a clip about this, and he was like, "Oh, you don't know what's going to happen. Have some sympathy and all this." I said, "Listen, mate, if this happened to Manchester United, we would not hear the fucking end of it. So I am going to bath in this glory, and I am loving it at the minute. Like Kevin Keegan said, I would love it. Yeah. I would love it if you got
City fans. Nobody has sympathy for you, mate. Nobody cares. No one cares. Everybody's laughing at you. Everybody wants you to fucking get relegated and get points deductions, all that stuff. Nobody cares. Get used to it. This is how United fans are. United, everybody hates us. Everyone. Yeah. Soak it up. Enjoy it, because that's what comes with success. That's what happens.
Yeah. And you are the Centurions. Don't forget that. 100 charges, financial breaches. Yeah. You hold that name. Hold it and represent it. The Centurions. Well done, lads. Got yourself in a bit of a pickle. Financial pickle.
Centurions in the Championship.
Yeah. Rightio then. Let's move on to our team. I'm going to speak a little bit about Manchester United and come away from the shithouses across the way, East Manchester. There's been a couple of things about players being sold from Samuel Luckhurst today, so I'm not sure if you saw it, but it said United decided to classify Anthony Martial as sellable before his latest injury setback last week. United are aiming to sell Martial in the summer amid plans to sign a new long-term striker, and Martial is among the players United are listed to sell at the end of the season. United captain Harry Maguire and fullback Alex Telles are also among the players who have been made available to buy. So I thought what we could do is go through the whole squad.
Yeah.
And you just tell me keep or sell. Okay. Or loan. So we'll start off with the goalkeepers. And this is really interesting. David De Gea.
Sell him.
Oh.
He's out of contract.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Big. That is big.
It's not because he doesn't fit Ten Hag's system. He can't play out from the back. His distribution is shocking. Like, he doesn't fit in the Ten Hag system. Like, every keeper Ten Hag has had is able to play with his feet and play out from the back. He can't do it.
Yeah. Ruthless aggression.
What are you saying? Would you keep him?
I'm on the fence.
You have to make a decision. You have to go keep or sell.
Do you know what? If you would have asked me this a couple of months ago, I would have said sell. Yeah. Definitely. But he's growing on me a bit now.
What about his distribution, though? Every week?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's neither that. You know what I mean? I'm very. I'm not sure. I'm not. For now, I'd keep him. I'd keep him for now.
Yeah.
Just because of the worries of bringing someone else in, whether they're gonna hit the ground running straight away, whether it's gonna be development period. Like under the lights at Old Trafford, you saw with Dubravka, Sam. It's not as easy as a lot of people think.
If he was to stay, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
I just think
you're being ruthless, and you're like, right.
If in the ideal world, new owners come in and they're like open checkbook, we can buy, sell, blah blah blah. Let's imagine in this world that we're good at selling players, which we aren't. Yeah. But let's imagine we are, and we've got money to replace him with the best we can get, or the one that Ten Hag wants. That's what I'm going in my head. Under Glazers, fucking keep him, because we ain't getting any better. We won't be able to negotiate our way out of a paper bag. So, yeah
it's true. Tom Heaton, third choice keeper.
Might as well just keep him, aren't you? Because
third choice. I think he was actually all right, to be fair, in the last game.
Fine. He was all right.
Who did he play against? Not
Forest.
Charlton.
Was it Forest?
Forest, wasn't it? Yeah, in the second leg. And he was all right, made a good save, a few decent saves.
Yeah.
So, good lad to have around as well. Seems like a really nice guy.
He's not good at...
Jack Butland.
He's not going to play many games, is he, Heaton? So
no. Just another Lee Grant job, basically. And he's better than Lee Grant. Yeah. So, Jack Butland.
I've not seen him play, so I don't know. Is he there? I don't know if
we can actually...
Does he exist?
Can we technically do keep or sell, or just NA? Because just not applicable.
Missing in action, because I don't know.
Yeah, so wherever you are, Jack, let us know, please. Dean Henderson.
Sell him. He's burnt his bridge, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think it's... I'm a caged animal. He never played me.
Fuck off.
Shut up, you sausage. Fuck off.
Sell
him.
Yeah, sell him. You get some money for him as well. You get some good money for him. So.
Yeah. Moving on to defenders. This one will be very interesting. Victor Lindelof.
Keep him. I think he's a decent backup centre back.
I agree. Eric Bailly.
Sell him. I love him. He's fucking mental. Absolutely mental. He's currently serving a 7-game ban for karate kicking a guy in the chest, which just tells you everything about. Which I love, by the way. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But he's injury prone and he's not reliable, and he's like 5 minutes away from a red card at any point during the match. So
yeah,
sell him.
Maybe get him a contract with Dana White if he's throwing out kicks.
I love Bay, by the way. I absolutely love the guy, but yeah, sell him.
Yeah. On to the next one. Your favourite player, Phil Bones Jones.
Fucking hell. Why is he still here?
Yeah.
Why is he still here?
Let him go.
Just release him from his contract.
Don't sell him. Yeah. Don't loan him. Just let him go.
Just go, please. Phil. Here's the payout the last 2 years. Yeah. Just leave. Go wherever you want. I don't care.
Last few months. Just let him go now. Just pay him whatever he's got left and let him go. Because he's not even in the squad. He's been taken out of every squad, hasn't he? So he's not even...
According to Ten Hag, he's not been able to finish training sessions since he's been there. So
yeah. So if you can't finish a training session, wow.
Yeah, just go. Wow. Just leave. Best of luck to you. I hope you get your career back on track, but just leave.
Of course. Harry Maguire.
Sell immediately.
Sell. Yeah.
Easy decision.
Terrell Malacia.
Keep it. Oh, he's only been here a year, hasn't he? Still needs time to develop.
Yeah,
keep him.
Of course.
And he didn't cost that much money either. So.
No. Lisandro Martinez. Cherish. Fucking cement his feet.
Keep
to the
him. Build a statue. Put a massive banner up in the Stretford end.
Yeah.
Sing his song.
Argentina flag dangling off the stadium. A huge one.
Everybody bows down to him when he walks out the tunnel. Serve him on a platter. Yeah. Whatever he needs, whatever he wants, give it to him. I don't care.
Fucking give it him.
Give him everything.
Make him CEO. Give him every title. Give
him your firstborn child. Whatever you want. Just fucking.
Mbappe treatment.
Yeah,
and then his counterpart, likewise, Rafael Varane. Yeah. Keep him, right?
Yeah.
At all costs.
Give him the Rolls Royce that he is. Give him that. Let him drive to training in a Rolls Royce. That's what he wants.
Yeah. I'm probably sure he's got a few of them already with the money he's on. Diego Dallo, right back. Another one you want to keep for long term.
He's out of contract this summer. I believe they're negotiating. Oh no, they extended it, didn't they? They extended his and
I think so.
Rashford. So I think hopefully they get a contract sorted him, tie him down, because I think he's been one of the most improved players, not just under Ten Hag but under Rangnick as well. He was like one of the best players. So I think he's a quality right back. So I'd say we definitely need to keep him.
Speaking of players that have really significantly improved, Luke Shaw, keep as well, right? 25, 26. We said at the start of the season, didn't we? They've got one more season, these lads, to improve. And this so far, they haven't put a foot wrong, really.
He's been consistent. It's not been patchy like it was under Ollie or under previous managers, where he would have a good run of form and then he'd fall off a cliff. He seemed to be consistently good. His defensive nous has gone up as well, like his awareness, and he's not switching off as much, which is what I always criticise him for.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Fucking coaching.
So yeah, keep him. I think he's a very good left back.
Yeah. Alex Telles.
Sell him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's great, but sell him.
Yeah. Wan-Bissaka.
It's tough, innit? It's tough.
It is hard, that one, at the minute.
If you would have told me
in the summer, you could get good money for him.
Yeah.
But
if you told me
you bring in as replacement.
Told me in the first week of January, I probably would have said sell him.
I think
right now, as a backup or as a guy you can alternate and rotate between Diego Dallo, he's decent. He's good, man.
Yeah.
He is good. Yeah. It depends what we could get, like who we would bring in the summer.
That's the thing,
as a right back. Like if there isn't anybody out there, like if Ten Hag has got a list of like right backs and he can't get any of his top three, maybe keep Wan-Bissaka and just have a look next summer.
Especially if they're happy to be that option, because if you bring someone in, like let's say he wants to go get a Frimpong, right, or he wants to get Dumfries, especially someone like Dumfries, they're going to want to start. They're going to be one of your first choice, which means then you leave an unhappy Dallo who's yet to sign his contract yet. So I think the best way to balance it is just keep it as is. If they're both happy competing, keep it as it is.
Or if you can get a young, talented right back in. I know Chelsea have just bought that Malo Gusto in, haven't they? So somebody like his caliber, young, just about to break into sort of like everybody knowing who he is and being a decent, recognised right back. If you can get somebody like that and bring him in to be the understudies to Dallo, that would be ideal. Or maybe even Ethan Laird. Ethan Laird's still out there on loan at QPR, doing quite well. If Ten Hag sees something in him, maybe bring him back. He might be an option. Be interesting.
So keep or sell, definitely.
Right now, I'd say keep. Right now.
Yeah, I agree. Brandon Williams, these guys, the next
Sell
few
him.
ones are
Sell
more fringe players. Yeah,
Sell.
get a couple. I don't know, a
Quality,
few.
like great attitude, personality, and I'm sure
It's
he's a
not got the
decent
quality,
human
though,
being.
innit?
Just isn't United standard.
Definitely not. Axel Tuanzebe, really unlucky with injuries. Loan spells haven't gone great.
No.
He's on loan at Stoke at the minute, I believe.
Yeah.
So what do they do? Just try to get some money for him, do you think?
Yeah, like I again liked him a lot, and that Paris game, I was like, this might be the guy.
Yeah,
This might be the centre back to like take us through the next couple of years. But like you said, just constantly injured, never gets right on loan, can't play any football. It just might be time to cut your losses and just sell him.
And then we've got a couple of youngsters in Mengi and Alvaro Fernandez.
Loan him out.
Kind of
Loan him
loan.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
loan him out.
See how they grow. Fernandez having a great loan as well. I think is it Preston?
Yeah, I rate Mengi
Preston
as well.
Preston?
Mengi's
Yeah.
a talent, man. Very good talent.
Yeah. So I'll loan them to out. We move on to midfield. Bruno Fernandes. Yeah.
Move on to the next one. Move on.
Move on.
Yeah.
Christian Eriksen.
Keep
We move again?
Yeah, keep
Fantastic.
it.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Casemiro. Yeah. Again,
Whatever we did for Lissandro, double that.
Yeah.
Bring
I was
that
just about to say
Casemiro.
that. Put him in the same bracket. Statue, Brazilian flag.
Yeah.
You know the rest.
Yeah.
Casemiro.
Whatever he needs.
What a guy.
Whatever he needs. Just give him that.
Scott McTominay.
Sell him. Done.
Sell. Good money as well. How much do you reckon we get for him?
Well, there was rumours, wasn't there? Newcastle were going to pay 30, 40 million, weren't they? Which would be, I think that's good money
I'd
for
fucking
Scott
get that.
McTominay. I'd take that all
Yeah.
day. Again, great personality, good attitude, gets what it means to be a Manchester United player, but just I don't think the quality's there. I don't think he reaches. Yeah, he's not the standard that we need. Again, if we could just keep him around for the Leeds and the City games, because that's what he always seems to show up for, then fine. But I don't think contracts work that way. But yeah, I nothing personal against the guy. I just don't think he's United caliber. So.
I think he'd do a good job regular for someone, a little bit lower down the table.
A Villa, a Brentford, somebody like that. I think he'd be great. I think he would.
Definitely. He's the other part of McFred. This one, I'm intrigued to see what you think.
Really don't.
Because I actually, of late, I like what he's doing at the minute.
Been good.
He's been playing really well.
He's been good. But again...
But he's done this before.
Exactly.
And that's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hot and
cold, very hot and cold.
At what point does he have a game where he's running around like a blue-ass fly, losing the ball constantly, and then trying 60-yard pingers and just shooting them over the bar? Do you know, like...
yeah.
I don't know. I really, really don't know. My instinct is Ten Hag wants to keep him. That's my instinct. I think Ten Hag wants to keep him because of the hard work he provides. I don't think he's a starter. I don't think he's a guy who will start.
But he's happy to come on and do a job. That's a good thing.
And I think that's his role. I think because even under Fergie, we had players like this, like under Fergie, who played these roles where Ji-Sung Park, for example, didn't start every single game, but in certain games where you needed a certain job done, you put Ji-Sung Park in because he knew what his role was and he would work his ass off to do it. And I think that's why Fred comes in. And I think that's what a lot of people get missed about teams. They think every player has to be like the best ever, the best in the world at it. And it's like, it doesn't work. It's a squad game. You have to have players who are a little bit less, so they're happy to play a bit part, but they can do a job when needed. So I think I would be tempted to keep him. But yeah, that's the one where I'm like really sort of
that could change in a couple of days.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
If he drops a bomb against both of the Leeds games, I might just go, fucking.
Then you're like,
shift him.
Fucking hell. But as it stands right now, I think I'd agree with you on that. I think I'd say keep. Right, okay, Fred, you staying? Ahmad. This
Go on,
one.
Nick. You make that decision.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm going to say, so you might as well just skip past my answer, mate, because you know what I'm going to say. Ready for the summer pre-season every time. Keep an eye out, mate.
I thought you
know what he's gonna do.
I thought you were gonna offer him the Lissandro treatment. Then I thought that's what you were gonna...
Not just yet. Not just yet. I believe he can reach that level, but he needs some time first.
I think the kid's talented. He's got something. The Rangers loan deal didn't go that well, but he seems to be absolutely smashing it in the Championship for Sunderland. just
Yeah.
absolutely murdering it. I think he probably goes on loan again next year, depending on his preseason. Maybe if preseason he comes in and Ten Hag looks at him and goes, I need to keep him around. But then we have got a lot of wide players right now. There's a lot of wide
It's
players.
exciting though to think. That's what I mean. The depth that we've got, and a preseason with these guys like Garnacho, Palestra, Ahmad, plus the rest, Sancho, Anthony, Rashford, like.
Because your options on right wing, you've got Ahmad, Palestri, Anthony, Sancho, and also you've got Rashford who can play there as well, and Elanga who we'll get onto. So you've got a lot on that right wing option. But Ahmad can also play the 10 as well, can't he? He's quite adept at it. So again, versatile player, which Ten Hag loves. Like, he loves a versatile player playing multiple positions. So I would keep Ahmad personally. But I think he probably goes out on loan. But I'm feel free to be. I would love to be surprised and he just keeps him round. Next season. So
looking forward to the summer. We move on to look. It's hard to say with this one because he's literally just come walk through the door. But Sabitzer, obviously, judging from what we saw, the 17-minute cameo, it's going to be hard to keep or sell.
Jury's out. Jury's out at the minute, isn't it? Like we need to see him play.
So this is one we can sit on the fence with Sabitzer. Next up, Donny van der Beek. He's obviously out to the rest of the season now. So what do you do with Donny, Sam? I
think he probably goes, doesn't he? Like
that's such a torrid time for him. Though. Like 2-3 years with United, barely any games. The manager that put him on the map in the first place doesn't get a tune out of him. You kind of just you feel so sorry for him because he's a nice lad as well.
I like him a lot, and I was like crying out for him to play more games when under Ollie, where he would get 5 minutes at the end of every game, and then people go, oh, see, he doesn't do anything. He's got 5 fucking minutes. Then like, what do you want him to do? Like, he can't do anything, and then he's been unlucky with injuries. He had a shit season at Everton as well, and got injured immediately there. And it was just
when they was in a relegation battle as well.
It's a terrible time for him. And I like the player. I think there's a quality player in there, but I just think it gets to a certain point in a career at a team where you've just been weighed down by everything that's happened, and you can't move forward.
Yeah, confidence.
However. If there's one guy who can turn him round, it's Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
If you want to save yourself some money in the summer and Ten Hag believes he can turn him round, do you keep him?
Yeah. Well, as of right now, were you saying sell?
At the minute, I'm saying sell, but if Erik Ten Hag thinks he can keep him and get something out of him, I'm happy to go with that. But from everything that's indicated in a minute, it seems like his time's up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think if I was to be ruthless, I'd probably say just let him go to another club, man. Sell, recoup 20 mil, whatever it is, and let him go play, man. Because I think he needs to move abroad to rejuvenate his career. Yeah. I think that's in order for him. But like you said, Ten Hag's that guy to get it out of him. So we could be having a completely different discussion by the time pre-season comes around. Palestra.
Keep him.
Loan.
Yeah, definitely loan. But yeah, keep him. I'm surprised he didn't go out on loan in Jan. I thought he would. I thought Elanga definitely would, but I also thought Palestra would. But apparently Ten Hag wants to keep him round, so maybe he's going to get some game time. Maybe he's going to get some minutes. So it'd be interesting to see him develop. But yeah, keep him.
Yeah. Hannibal Mejbri got an assist yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that last minute assist.
Yeah. Loan again, keep him developing.
Yeah, keep the kid developing. He's got the right attitude. He's got the right mentality. My favourite thing still is when he put one on
Liverpool.
Jordan Henderson against Liverpool when we got absolutely slapped up. So yeah, send him on loan. Give the guy minutes. Give the guy time. Because I think I'd love to see him play for United properly because I think he's got the right attitude and I love a shit house. So
yeah. Similar ones with Iqbal and Mainu. Obviously, Kobe Mainu being added to the squad. Iqbal kind of dropping down the pecking order a little bit. We saw a lot of him in pre-season, didn't we? And now it seems to have put Kobe Mainu above him in them ranks now. So he's clearly saw something in training. Do you loan Iqbal out, keep Mainu in the squad, or would you loan both?
It depends again, who we bring in the summer midfield wise. If you bring in, say, Sabitzer stays, and then you bring in a De Jong or somebody of that caliber. Kobe Mainoo's not going to get that much minutes. Iqbal's definitely not going to get any minutes. And if you keep Donny around again, so it might be best for them to go on loan just so they get football and get minutes under their feet. But again, it all depends on the summer plans. But I'd definitely keep them, whether that's a loan or keep them in the squad. Definitely keep them.
Yeah, cool. We move on to the last section. Attackers, like main attackers. So Anthony Martial is the big one. We mentioned him at the start. We've almost come kind of full circle here. What do we think?
I'm just frustrated with him, man. I'm at this point. Like, he's on his day. He's one of the most exciting players to watch. He's fucking phenomenal, but he can't stay fit. Like, he can't stay fit, and Ten Hag needs this. All this talk about us getting a number 9 in the summer. It was Osimhen, Harry Kane, Sesko, whoever, Vlahovic. So all this talk, which just makes me feel like Martial's probably not longed for this club. Like, I know there's that report about Samuel Lucas saying he's been labelled as a sell player. And if you can't stay fit, you don't play under a Ten Hag team, because you see, like, he's not going to tolerate, like, if you can't stay fit and keep up with demand, you're not going to stay. So I would say sell him. I know Chivy would argue me to the death on this, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm getting to that point, I feel like, with him, because especially after the most recent one, where he plays 20 minutes against, everyone's happy, Sancho's back, Martial's back, we finally got depth. Play 20 minutes against Forest where we're already winning. Don't do anything major, and then you're injured again. It's just like, you can't, he's so fragile, you just can't play him in any game. So it's going to be even tough getting money for him, because teams are going to look at him and they're going to look at, his reliability, and about, we're not paying nowhere near what you want, because we're not going to get that amount of games out of him. So
he's also his loan to Sevilla did not go well.
Yeah,
it did not go well. So teams are going to look like that and go, look, he went on loan and he didn't even.
Yeah,
he didn't
it's
play
a big gamble
well
for teams to go in and get him in it. That's the thing.
Again, fantastic goal scorer. Like, even in those 20 minutes, he got a goal. Right place, right time.
But you just can't keep him on.
You can't, if you're going to be a title fighting team, you can't have Anthony Martial as your number 9, because he won't play. He won't play for 20, 25 games. He won't play.
Yeah, it's true. So sell Martial. I think we agree on that. Unfortunately, it's a shame, because I do think he's mega talented, but I would sell him. Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, keep him. Easy decision.
Keep him right now.
One of the best seasons he's ever had in his career this season. And he could well.
Sorry, I moved on quite quickly, to be fair.
Yeah, he's absolutely smashed records so far, and I think he will continue to as well. So, yeah, keep him.
Yeah, keep Mr. Mentality Monster. Anthony?
Yeah, he's 6 months into his United career. Ten Hag
You wouldn't think it, with the way he's being fucking criticised, would you? Jesus.
Ten Hag clearly identified him, thinks he is the talent that he wants, overpaid for him. He believes in him that much. So I think we keep him and let him develop under Ten Hag. And after 2-3 seasons, he's still where he's at right now, then we can go, okay, let's think about selling him. But in a minute, you can't sell a guy after 6 months, can you? Like, he's just...
someone who's in a similar category to Anthony, Jadon Sancho. He's been here a bit longer. Not really got going yet. We've seen really good glimpses from him, but he's come back now. He's been on an individual training program. He's looked much leaner, much fitter, sharper on the ball. It looks more promising from him. So you'd like to think keep him in it at the minute. But again, still jury's out on some of them.
Yeah, hasn't had the greatest at Man United. He's had a couple of moments, but nothing where he's been like Dortmund form, for example.
Yeah.
So, but again, Ten Hag, if there's the one coach who can bring somebody back from the dead, make him great again, it's going to be Ten Hag. He's done it to multiple players in the Man United team. He's done it for Ajax players. So I think we need to just give him time with Sancho, and I think he'll come good. It will make him a good player again.
Bring me back to life. Is that the right song, Evanescence?
Bring me to life, yeah.
Bring me to life, yeah. There we go. Mr. Wout. Big man Wout, what do we think about him? Here's a question for you. Because he's alone, it's difficult to say keep, sell, whatever. But if you can bring him in as, like, I don't know, just like an option to bring off the bench as a secondary or third option, would you still keep him around after we bring in the big number 9, like an Osterman, Sesko, Kane?
Yeah, it could be a good option. Like we said, like Ten Hag likes a big, tall guy up front, doesn't he? He likes a unit up front. So, and again, like when you're playing a team where it's really hard to break him down. Like we saw that the example of Ten Hag ball, didn't we, against who did we play the other day? Crystal Palace. It was 13 passes, I think, to get to the goal. That's 10 Hag ball there. Obviously, sometimes that doesn't always work against certain teams. Like back in the day, like a Burnley, stuff like that. It doesn't work sometimes, that sort of stuff. So I think when you need last 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and you need right, we just need to start lumping balls into the box and get somebody get on the end of it.
Like the Argentina game.
Exactly.
What Van Gaal did.
Yeah, he's a good option. Why not keep him around? He clearly likes United. Ten Hag's clearly a fan. I don't imagine he's on that big of a wage either. I don't think he's
60k, I think, something like that.
I think why not keep him around? I'd be all right with that. I don't want him as our starting number 9. I think that'd be a mistake, but as an option,
I agree.
Why not?
Yeah, I agree. Keep Mr. Vout for now. Anthony Elanga.
Sell him.
It's getting to that point. I do agree. I wouldn't mind a loan if possible. Send him out, see what he can do. Maybe because Dortmund were interested in him, and listen, Dortmund aren't interested.
I would have been interested in that. I would have liked to. I would have liked to have seen what happened with that, but
yeah, I agree.
It didn't happen, did it? So
I don't know why though, because like you said, we've got enough depth in the wings. Like we don't really need him, to be honest. And it's not as if we've got any cup games now that aren't going to be of significance where these guys can usually get time. We've got West Ham in the FA Cup, but they're in the final of the Carabao Cup. We've got Barcelona in the Europa League, and we're still fighting for top 4 in the league. So he's not going to get many opportunities, is he?
No, he's not. He's not going to play in any of those games. So I don't see. What's the worst thing he could have? What's the worst thing at Dortmund? He sits on Dortmund's bench. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They must have wanted him for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if it had anything to do with, because I know they've got a very talented player there, Makoku, who his contract was running out, but I think he's just signed a new one in January. So I don't know if it was anything to do with that, because he could have gone as a free agent or spoken to other clubs or something like that outside of the Bundesliga.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not sure if it was anything to do with that, but obviously it was heavily linked, weren't they? Even till the last day, we weren't sure if he was going to go or not.
Oh, yeah, it's a weird decision, but I'd sell him. I think, again, great athlete, works hard for the team. I just don't think he's United quality for me. Yeah.
Say that about quite a lot, haven't we? We said McTominay similar, great athletic, like great stamina, strength, but quality wise, they're just not up to that level.
If you want to win titles, you can't win titles with Anthony Elanga. Yeah. Like, you can't.
It's true. It's true. And then the last couple of ones, again, a couple of youngsters. Shola Shoretire, or as Dan would call him, Shorty. He's currently on loan to Bolton, doing well from what I've heard. I have to admit, I haven't watched. I've just heard things that he's doing well there. Me personally, this might seem ruthless to people. I don't rate him. I don't think he's going to be United caliber or United quality. So I would, if he has a decent loan spell at Bolton and they want to pay a fee for him, I'd let him go. I know that seems sharp to a lot of people, but from what I've seen of him, don't rate him at all.
Yeah, I've not seen anything where I've been like, oh, that kid's got something, or he's talented, or he has I've not seen it. So for me, if someone wants to go in with a fee, I'd sell him. I don't think we're going to regret that decision, to be honest.
Yeah, and then I saved this one till last purposely, Sam. Alejandro Garnacho.
I've heard the contract is pretty much done.
We've heard that for a while though, haven't we?
Yeah, and they keep saying, "Oh, it's going to be announced. It's going to be announced." So I don't know what the hold up is. Yeah. I think it was something to do with image rights or something like that. I can't remember.
Maybe they're just waiting until we lose so they can announce it for positive.
A glazer spin. So I think he will sign a new contract, and we'll have him tied down for the next few years. And what a great manager to work underneath in Erik Ten Hag. Fantastic for the kids' development. We've said many times, it feels like a cliche on this show, that every time we go to Old Trafford and Garnacho gets on the ball, everybody stands up. Literally, the whole ground stands up because this kid's lightning, and he's got something about him. He's got that Kanchelskis, Ronaldo Giggsy feel winger about him. He gets people excited.
Definitely.
And I think under Ten Hag, he develop his game and become more and more dangerous, will score more goals and get better and better. So, keep him at all costs. He's going to be a really, really interesting talent to watch develop at United.
Yeah, it's a shame about the last game as well, and it obviously brought on to do a job. Did really well in our second goal. Like, I played a really important role
Yeah.
to that, and then gets taken off again. But he'll learn from that. He'll learn from that.
I'm sure Ten Hag explained to him, it's just like, look, we had a player sent off. We needed to win the game at all costs, and it's a team game at the end of the day. It's not an individual thing. So I'm sure, I know he's probably disappointed from the look on his face when he was sat in the dugout and stuff. But
he looked pissed off in it.
Yeah, which I understand. It's okay to be pissed off. It's okay to feel that way. But the grand scheme of things, you won the game. Carry on, and he will get other opportunities. He will definitely get other opportunities.
Definitely. So let us know, guys, who you would want to get rid of in the summer. The top priorities, the first 3 or 4 you really want to get rid of, and then maybe a couple of loans in there as well. Let us know in the comments section. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Smash a like on the video and follow us on all socials: TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. The links are at the bottom of the graphic or in the video description if you want to check us out over on there. Sam, have you got anything to add?
No. Hopefully we get our ticketing issue sorted out, because I'm looking forward to Leeds on Wednesday. It should be a fun game. There will be no watch along because obviously me and Nick will be at the game. So apologies for that, but I'm sure you can do without us for one day. Leeds preview tomorrow, so look forward to that. Thursday news show. Did we do the FPL roundup Thursday?
FPL, sorry, you just reminded me of that. The FPL roundup is back. We've missed it for a couple of weeks since we returned. We appreciate that. I don't know why I've not brought it back sooner, but it's back now. Yeah. We can discuss it. And then obviously, of course, whoever it is who sits top of the FPL wins that retro shirt. So make sure you tune in for that for updates, what transfers are going to be made, who's doing well, top 4, and the rest.
We've got the other Leeds preview Friday. So playing in twice in a week, and the Leeds watch along on the Saturday away, so there will be a watch along for that.
Sunday.
Are we on Sunday? Okay. So the preview on Saturday then.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's all the content that we've got coming, and then follow all the socials. Enjoy the content, because we enjoy making it, and we appreciate all the support and the likes and the subscribers and all that sort of stuff. So thank you all.
And most importantly, RIP to the Busby Babes who lost their lives in 1958. We will always remember you guys, the Manchester Flowers. And thank you everyone for tuning in, commenting, liking. We appreciate all you guys supporting the channel as well. So take care of yourselves. We'll see you for the Leeds preview tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Do not miss it.
Who made it? You know who made it.